So the transformation that we're going to look at today is a rotation. Just like I said with reflections, like if you've been alive for, more than 10 years, a reflection means you flipped something. You've all looked in a mirror before, like you've reflected. What does a rotation mean that you did? If something rotates, what does it do? Spins. You guys already know that without me saying anything, okay? A rotation means that you spin around the origin. And you guys did all pass Algebra 1, so we should know what the origin is, but just to make sure, what point is the origin? Yeah, 0, 0. So the center, okay? And I always turn mine into a smiley face. All right, so you're going to spin. A rotation means that you spin around the center. Now we're going to have a brief conversation before I even write anything else down about clocks. I know that you guys live in a very digital age and all your clocks look like this and they're digital, but the words, and I need the computer's closed now. The words that we use when we spin are clockwise and counterclockwise. So let's just have a brief conversation about clocks, okay? Can you picture a clock for me with all the numbers? What number's at the top? Let's use our imagination. 12, down at the bottom. 6, over here. 3. Now, are we imagining it? You're with me. Okay, good. You have an imagination. If you spin clockwise, are you spinning to the left or to the right? To the right. Perfect. Let's write that. Okay, we all have an imagination. So let's just write that down. Clockwise means to the right. So you're going to spin to the right, and we're just going to turn our piece of paper, okay? So clockwise means to the right. Now, if you imagine your clock, your round clock, not a digital one, it's called an analog clock, all right? If you spin counterclockwise, it means the opposite direction. I know, like an idiot just acting this out of here. But it means you're going to spin to the left, okay? And again, we just need to know our left from our right. All right, so counterclockwise means you're going to spin to the left. And we're literally just going to turn our piece of paper. It's just a spin. Okay? So you can read what that says up there. 90 degrees, it's a right angle. If you go 180, then you've spun the entire way around. 270 is like a 3/4 turn. I don't know if anyone's interested in like skateboarding where like you did a 360 or a 5/4. No one does a 270. That would be really weird. It would mean you tried to spin the whole way around but didn't quite make it. But anyway, I digress. Let's go ahead and actually like apply this to a problem because I know this is all just like numbers to us. All right, so if we go 90 degrees clockwise, it's going to be 90 degrees to the right. We would spin our paper like that. 90 degrees to the right. Clockwise means to the right. Your point, XY, is going to become y, comma, and I know it looks like negative x, but it really means opposites. If it's positive, you make it negative. If it's negative, you make it positive. So let's try and do that with this point. I want to take this and I want to change it so it's y and then opposite x. What do you think? Well, 1 will go here, and then positive 2. It is negative. We're going to turn it positive. It just means opposite, or you're negating that point. Again, when we do an actual problem, like with this triangle down here, we're just going to turn the paper, okay? Now, 180 degrees means it's fully upside down. You spun the whole way around. So you're going to change it to be negative x, negative y. You're just going to negate the two numbers. So what would this point then transform into? 2, -1. Perfect. You're negating it. And then if you go 270, which is like a 3/4 turn, like you pretend you tried to spin the whole way around, but you didn't quite make it. Because how many degrees would be the whole way around? It would be 360. 270 means you like tried to turn the whole way around, but you like failed. You didn't make it the whole way, okay? So it'll be negative y, or opposite y, I should say, comma x. So for this point, that would be -1, and then good, +2. Perfect. Okay. Oh, I didn't put my little arrows on there. Let's do that. 180 degrees clockwise, you're going to spin the whole way. And then 90 degrees counterclockwise, you're going 90 degrees, but it's to the left. If the arrows don't help you, then don't write them. Only write what helps you. Okay. If those confuse you, then forget them. If something confuses you, I don't want you to look at it. Here's what you need to be able to do, though. We're just going to spin our paper. And when you're taking a test, you'll just turn your computer. All right. So let's first read it. Reading is important. We want to go 90 degrees, so a quarter turn, counterclockwise. Is that to the right or the left? That's left. All right. Counterclockwise means the left. We're going to state the vertices, which means the points of the new triangle. Okay. I want you to all just watch me do this for a second. I'm literally just going to spin my paper to the left a quarter turn. Just watch. I'm going to take my paper and just turn it this way. Do you see how I did that? Can you all copy me and go ahead and do that? I just spun my paper. Now, what you have to do is pretend, and you guys all have a good imagination because you followed me with the clock thing. Pretend there are no numbers on this anymore. Can you imagine that? Imagine all the numbers are gone and you have a brand new coordinate plane. All you're going to do is write down what these new points are. What would this point be? Pretend these numbers aren't there and pretend we have new numbers on there. What would this point be? It would be 1 comma what? But it went down this time, so perfect. 1 comma -3. All you do is turn your paper and then write what the new point would be. That's all you got to do. So let's try it again. If you were like, hey, I didn't quite get that. Cool, we're going to do it again. We're going to do 90 degrees to the left. And let's do this point now. Pretend these numbers are missing. It would be 6 and -1. Good job. It would be 6, -1. You're pretending you have a brand new coordinate plane. And then let's turn 90 degrees to the left, counterclockwise, and we're going to just try the last one. So again, pretend those numbers are gone and what this new point would be. It would be +7, perfect, +7, -5. So all you're going to do is turn your paper or your computer, pretend the numbers are missing, and then write down what the new point is. It feels like most of you listened to me say that. If you kind of tuned out, tune back in. We're going to try it 2 more times, okay? We're just going to practice it. So go ahead and flip over. We're going to try the next one. So reading is important. We're going to flip 90 degrees, or not flip, we're going to spin. A reflection is a flip. We're going to spin 90 degrees. Good. Clockwise means to the right. So clockwise to the right. Are you okay? Good. Okay. Cough it out. All right. 90 degrees to the right. So just watch. I'm going to take my paper and just spin it 90 degrees right. Do you see how I did that? So spin your paper. Pretend all of the numbers are gone. And we're going to list out what the new points are. So what would this point be? We're just going to do them one at a time. 2, 1. Good. They're both positive. Nice job. 2, 1. Actually, everything's going to be positive for this one. 2, 1. So 90 degrees to the right. What would this point be? 1, 4. Good job. All right, continuing on. 90 degrees to the right. Let's do this one up here kind of at the top. That would be 4, 7. Perfect. You guys are getting it. And then the last one would be 4, 4. Okay, 4, 4. Nice. So you just have to spin it the right way. Pretend, use your imagination, pretend all the numbers are gone, and then state what the new coordinate points would be. You just have to spin the correct direction. Now, when it says for our last one here, and this is the lesson, this is this short, all you have to do is be able to spin your paper. If it says rotate 180 degrees, it almost doesn't matter if it says clockwise or counterclockwise, because if you go 180, does it matter if I go this way or the other way? Not really, because 180, like if I spin 180 degrees this way or if I spin 180 degrees this way, either way, I'm backwards now. Okay, so spin it whichever way you like. Pretend all the numbers are gone, and we're going to list out the new points. So pretend these aren't labeled anymore. What is this one right here? -4. And, oh, you're on this one. That's fine. -4, -1. And then the other one, you're correct, is -4, -3. I'll just write them both down at the same time. We did both of these. This one's -4, -1. We got -4, -3. Let me spin it upside down again. How about this one is -5 and then what? -7. Good job. Everything's going to be negative on this one. All right, and then the last one will be -4, -8. Beautiful.